Let us see, Nagi Sashiro. What can you cook without Isagi? What's up guys, Alfonso here, and we want to do a breakdown / live reaction and review to chapter 20 of episode Nagi, which is, well, Blue Lock, episode Nagi, which is known as Ignorance. And I'm excited, I'm very excited, mainly because this guy is another character who we've seen before, and obviously you know I love Zantetsu. Well, not really. I mean, I like Zantetsu, but I love my boy Nico as much as I was clowning on Broski, so you know, I'm very, very excited. So let's not waste any more time and let's hop right into it. Editing me, ready, 3, 2, 1, go. What's up guys, that guy with a pencil here. Fun fact, I do happen to have it on me and keep it on me at all times. And another fun fact, it's P-Lock. This will be the worthiness designator for now. So like, if I squeeze it twice, then it's worthy. If I don't squeeze it twice, then it's not worthy. But let's not waste any more time. Let's actually hop right into chapter 20, Ignorance. Okay. I'm very interested to see how this guy plays. Mainly because he's been in the background. That's one of the weird things about him. And that's why I like chapter 19, because it starts to establish his character. But notably, we just haven't gotten, there's so many Blue Line characters that are like that. Characters who have been there for like a hot minute, like been there darn near since the narrative's conception, but we just never see them. And episode Nagi is a fantastic time to spotlight some of them, so let's see what happens. Nagi, I want to call him locked in, but he does look half asleep. Chigiri, definitely locked in. Baro, slightly locked in. I don't know, something about, he's not too serious. This guy, something about them blank eyes throw me off. Zantetsu, definitely locked in, even though bro does not have a brain cell to lock in. And Nico, my son, my boy. I actually forget, because I haven't reread the end of second selection in a while. I forget who ends up on this team. Is it Zantetsu? I think it's Zantetsu, but Nico obviously. I think everyone here still makes it, because I think this guy is like a sub for Manshine, but I may be misremembering. So somehow everyone's gonna make it out of this game. Okay, but let's see. Second selection, 3 versus 3. Team Red, Nagi Baro Chigiri versus Team White, Nico Zantetsu Hiragi. Look at the gang, look at the gang posted up like this. All right. Let's see just how. Hold on, let me run some calculations. The calculations have been ran. All right, this is gonna be interesting. This is gonna be very interesting. Here's the thing, a big thing that comes with writing prequels or pseudo prequels or like semi-concurrent prequels and having them released at the same time as the main manga. I know there's not really any stakes, because like I know all these characters make it out fine, but I am interested to see how these characters interact, especially since one of them is a massive unknown. And I wonder how, like, and that's another thing though, that's another thing about this prequel in particular for episode Nagi. I know where this is going, to like in a general vague sense. Once we get to Neo Egotist, like I know where this is going. So I'm wondering how much of an impact presumably Hiragi is supposed to have on Nagi. Very, very interesting. I'm going to climb back up again, so he says before he falls again. Let's see. Let's take a look in a book. Ooh, and challenge Yoichi Isagi. Yeah, okay. So one thing I will admit, and I'm really liking episode Nagi for, I'm not going to say it feels out of nowhere, because like the whole start of second selection is based around the fact that Nagi's goals have changed because of Isagi. But I do like that episode Nagi is really like hammering in the fact that, oh no. Nagi's like obsessed, like he needs it, he's fiending for it, he's itching and scratching for it. I do love how we're really building into that. Of course, it does kind of work, it kind of does like backwards work around itself to original series MC glaze, but like, I really, really like Isagi, so I don't have a problem with it. Let's see. And challenge Yoichi Isagi. It's gonna be interesting seeing these three play together on their own. Because like, notably, other than Shigiri, this team doesn't have like a regulator or like a feeder. Like Isagi kind of worked well to support any of these three and was capable on his own. And I guess that's the same thing with Shigiri here, but still, like all of these people, well, I guess Baro, he can support himself pretty much. And Nagi mostly can, depending on the situation, and Shigiri learns to later. But let's see. All right, our strategy is clear and simple. Cook them. I'll challenge Zantetsu with speed. Oh, we already know how that matchup's gonna go. Nagi, that is so disrespectful, dog. Nagi will challenge Nico with height. I mean, it's true. Nagi's a titan. Like, bro's taller than Baro, which still bamboozles me to the. I something about it just doesn't feel right. Despite me knowing it, despite me seeing it on the wiki multiple times and seeing it in the data books, something about Nagi being taller than Baro, it rustles my jimmies, bro. I'm not sure. I guess because it's just you picture Baro as such a more dominant force, and I guess Nagi is inherently lankier than Baro. So, like, it's a matter of, I think Nagi's only 1 inch taller than Baro. So it's a matter of, like, beef versus height. But it's not like Nagi's skinty. It's not like he's like a little string bean. So the fact that he's taller than Baro is so hilarious. But let's see. And Baro will face Hiragi over breakthrough power. By creating these matchups, we'll face ideal opponents using our strong points so we can beat them one-on-one first. That's smart. That's smart. That's smart. Though admittedly, I feel like this could be a rough matchup. Like, this matchup we've kind of seen before. As long as Shigiri has the ball, Zantetsu ain't really stopping him, as long as the setup is just right. Unless Zantetsu got buffs off screen that I don't know about. This matchup here, it could really depend on how well Nico's able to read Nagi. Like, Nagi's great, don't get me wrong, and he definitely has the stats advantage, but Nico's got that big old brain, so it's interesting to see this. And interesting. So we're going with Baro versus Hiragi. What is happening? What is transpiring? No! Okay, that was concerning, strange, and or haunting. If not all of the above. Let's just do that. And let's lower you down into the darkness. Because I already hear it starting to scream. We'll face ideal opponents using our strong points, so we can beat them one-on-one first. Alright. After that, we'll use our numerical advantage to ad-lib a goal. Okay, so yeah, they are still freestyling. But I guess that makes sense, right? Like, chemical reactions, their bonds, their connections are always based on the freestyle of a chemical reaction. Like, you can't really build a formula, especially with a team like this that's so, like, I'm not going to say inherently chaotic, but, like, without a main facilitator, any of these guys could score at any single point, yet none of them really support each other in their scoring abilities. Like, once again, Shigiri can act as a center for both of these two to, like, just feed them both goals, but at the same time, Shigiri also wants their own goals. So it's very interesting. There's no Isagi on this team. There's no Nico. There's no Rin. There's no puppets here or anything that can guide these three. So it's going to be interesting to see how these three play off without that dynamic being in place. All right. After that, we use Zantetsu-kun, Roger. Ooh, okay, so they're double teaming. They're about to cook, bro. For real? The two of them are covering me before I can get to my top speed? Well, I guess that would be the easiest way, because Shigiri's biggest weakness, at least at this point, he kind of fixes this by Neo Icarus League, I'm pretty sure. Like, I think it's a big thing that bro's able to reach his top speed, or at least higher portions of his top speed a lot quicker than he could before. But that was the big difference between him and Zantetsu. It's the reason why Shigiri had to, like, kick the ball forward in their matchup way back when in first selection. It's because Zantetsu has a much higher acceleration start speed, meanwhile Shigiri, he needs a few seconds to hit that top speed, which is reasonable. Back when I did track, I could not immediately, I couldn't go from 0 to 100. Like, I would get a kick around like 25, 35. Maybe if I'm doing real bad at like 50 meters, that's when I'll like finally hit top gear and I'll just go for the rest of the way. So I can understand Shigiri's struggle here, and them exploiting that is smart, especially considering Zantetsu specifically has run into that matchup. So I wonder if he came up with this or if it was Nico. It was probably Nico. But let's see. Knock the ball away. I won't let you have a speed battle. How do you like this? Pincer. I thought he was going to call Shigiri Pincer Princess. How do you like this pincer press? These guys anticipated what we were trying to do and came here to nullify my strong point. Shigiri, where is the rest of your team? Shigiri, where are the rest? Like, why are you genuinely running alone here? Where are the others? Let's see. And Hiragi immediately taps it up. Hey, did you know that fortune telling's foundation is statistics? I guess so. Like, in the sense that, why are you screaming? I lowered your brightness down to the literal lowest. I can barely see the screen. Stop it. Let's see. Personality, thought, movement patterns. By analyzing trends in large amounts of data from someone's history, you can use probability to predict their future. It's true. It's true. It's kind of like, well, it's not kind of. It is just how advertising works, specifically nowadays. Of course, before, there was all this advanced technology that tracked your habits, your searches, and all stuff like that. you would just go off, okay, what is this person done before? What have they purchased before? How can we adapt to that in order to predict how they would act in the future and best sell them something? And that's true. I understand he's using fortune telling as the basis for that, but no, just in general, like the ability to read someone's future, quote unquote, would come from an understanding of their past actions. Because humans are cyclical creatures, right? Like, we very much function on foundations of order and logic for the most part. There are times where we like lose our good minds, but most of the time you can predict a human's future, quote unquote, based on their previous actions. The only time it doesn't work is when they're like super duper young, like they haven't even developed an ego yet. And not an ego is in like a blue lock ego, but an ego is in like a personality, and thusly they have no previous historical data. Like, you can't really advertise. I guess you can like jingle keys, but you can't really advertise like a 1-year-old or a 2-year-old. Who are you advertising to when you're trying to advertise to them? Their parents, but they think is good for their children for their child to consume at that time period. That's who you end up advertising to. That's who you end up selling to, because you can't sell to a baby, because a baby doesn't know what selling is. Like, a good comparison that I realized, I still remember I had forgotten to get something for one of my baby cousins once, and instead of like rushing to the store and giving them a massive crazy gift, I took an old set of keys and I laid it in front of them. Despite the numerous toys, the like devices they got, all that, they were really, really excited by those. They still had the keys to this day. Admittedly, they're like 3 now. So of course not much has changed mentally for them. But it's just the keys. It's so easy. There was nothing special about those keys. It was just like keys, and they were super excited by it. So there's that difference, but otherwise I definitely see Hiragi's point here where like, I got your data, I got your numbers. And a big thing that Luck, it's one of the things I'm very interested to see post Neo Egotistically. I keep mentioning this whenever I cover the main timeline chapters too. Once we get out of Blue Lock sphere, once we get out of that metric, how much data are we really going to get on these other teams? How much time is our casting crew really going to have to prepare? Like, presumably, they're going to be able to prepare a lot easier than they are now, because they're going to be all joined together. Like, we're going to have Nico, Rin, and Isagi all brainstorming and fielding in and building a team structure around their next opponent. But we're going to be going in with complete raw data. I'm assuming the reason Hiragi was able to do so well here, and probably Hiragi plus Nico were able to do so well here, is because they have so much data on Shigiri, on Zantetsu, heck, on even Nagi, just because they're some of the top players. There's so much information on them. And except for, with the exception of Hiragi, I think Nico and Zantetsu have encountered this entire crew before. Like, Nico's encountered Baro, Nico's encountered Nagi, Nico's encountered Shigiri. Like, admittedly, Shigiri's interactions with Nico are very limited, but Zantetsu's encountered Shigiri before. So, like, they do have the data set. And ultimately, when you have one solid strategy, it's going to be easier to shut down because you're going to fall back on habits. It's why, in my opinion, as much as I love Baro and the Uber structure, it's why I feel like it was digi-destined to fail most of the time. Because if you knew how to stop Baro, like, what are you really going to do? Sendo came in with that last thief goal, that hyena goal right there at the very end. But once again, you funnel all that into one striker, unless they're literally a demon. Like, you're not really going to get that solid, consistent variety that's needed, because the pattern's too easy. The pattern's too recognizable. It's why, for the most part, except for that one goal that he got, once Kaiser Isagi downloaded all of Baro's data, he just didn't do anything for the rest of the match, because he was only one man, and you can't do too much with one man. But let's see what Hiragi has to cook. Personality, thought, and movement patterns. By analyzing trends and large amounts of data from someone's history, you can use probability to predict their future. Basically, no matter what type of person it is, by applying one's personality to the accumulated data, I can narrow down their possible future outcomes. And can even explain a prodigy. Okay. So Hiragi, so he's the facilitator here. Especially on a team with Nico, that's very interesting that Hiragi's the one who's taken up the big facilitation role. But I guess Nico, at least at this point, actually no, this is post first selection, so he's not so much of a follower, but I guess he just, then again, why have we never heard of this guy? This guy's such a big brain giga planner. But with that being the case, that's interesting. And I do like what he says here, and even explain a prodigy. Because one of the biggest reasons why Nagi is horribly annoying to play against. Presumably, just based on what I understand of the narrative. And same thing with Shido, same thing with... It really is Nagi and Shido. They're the two most annoying things. Usually, they're basically unpredictable. They can do wild things with their abilities because they don't necessarily have any preset formats that they're going to consistently go for. Baro has a range. He has a type of shot that he goes for. He has all that. You can predict and build around that. For Isagi, he has a range. He has a shot type. You can build around that. For, heck, even Chigiri, he has a range. He has a shot type. You can build around that. It's why Chigiri's kind of been a one-goal wonder. Every single team he's gone against. Once you get the data, it's done. But the thing with Nagi and Shido is that for Shido, he gets the ball in the penalty box. It's going in the goal one way or another, whether it be a header, a kick, a backflip, anything. And sometimes we saw when he awakened, even outside the box, he's super unpredictable. Same thing with Nagi. With his ability to trap as well as he can, he's able to create opportunities that you just wouldn't think of in areas you wouldn't think of. Like, we've seen him score inside the box, outside the box, right next to the goal, far away from the goal. Like, bro's able to do numbers with crazy different viabilities because of the randomness. However, I see what Hiragi means here and can even explain a prodigy. You're nothing more than another pattern. And I can see it. I can see the vision, mainly because you know, as long as I can shut down this thing that leads to the unpredictability, the predictable that leads into the unpredictable, then we're good. What makes Nagi so dangerous and annoying? The fact that he can trap really, really good. You stop Nagi from trapping, what do you do? What's he doing? What's he cooking? Huh? How do you stop him from trapping? What's he got for you? For real, for real. What's he really bringing to the table? I don't really think that much. And this has kind of been a thing that's lasted all the way up to his most recent developments. Chris doubled down on his strengths, but ultimately ended up doubling down on his weaknesses. And seeing Hiragi break it down like this does make sense. See? You're the type who always snaps at a time like this. Hiragi, you a little bit devious, bucko. You a little bit devious, a little bit evil, a little bit monstrous. And then open your legs. Like, Blue Lock is never beating the allegations. Don't get me wrong. Like, I don't think Blue Lock will ever beat the allegations. But this certainly ain't helping. This is certainly not assisting in any allegation beating. Let's see. And then open your legs. What's with this guy? Ugh. Baro, why are you freaking and geeking, bro? You literally have done that. Like, have you shown up? Oh, he's right here. Okay. But still, Baro, if you don't lock in, that ponytail guy isn't just bluffing. Of course, he's cooking y'all right now. Straight through the legs as well. Let's see. Zantetsu with it? Baro, no, don't tell me you got your ankles broken. Got it. No, don't get scored on by Zantetsu. Soccer x human statistics. My fortune telling has led me to produce this. Ooh, produce. Wait, what? Oh, okay. I was actually genuinely confused there for a second. I see what happened was my brain immediately followed this line right here, which at least to me was like, wait, that's nowhere near the goal, but now I see it. The impact point is here, then it curves into there. Smart stuff. Big data soccer. Got it? One thing I will admit, unfortunately I still do not know the artist's name by heart. I know they're still both written by Nomura Sensei, but if I had to say one thing about Kaneshiro Sensei, not Nomura Sensei, Nomura, in terms of their art, I still say the artist for episode Nagi does a fantastic job of mimicking Nomura, but there's a lot more, how do I say this, like fluidity and like freeform contortion in this mangaka's art in comparison to Nomura's. Nomura's can happen, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying Nomura cannot do freeform complexity and stuff like that, but there's a lot more like sharpness, rigidness to Nomura's art, which does add to it. It definitely adds to every single moment where it does peak out and tweak out a little bit. But here I can feel like the smoothness, the folds and bends in the body. Like, this is really, really good stuff. And these hard to draw angles are done really, really well by this artist. So quality stuff. It's especially from someone who's a consistent Nomura glazer. I'm shocked at how much I'm glazing this one too. This is fantastic. But let's see. Bunch of jerks. They're creepy. Baro, you are not one to talk. What a pain. Doesn't it feel like they really practice defense formations in order to nullify our strong suits? Yeah. They're preventing our ideal matchups and leveraging Nico's knowledge on all of our... Yes, okay, so they are using Nico particularly, at least for his knowledge.
Who cares about that? Even if they know about it, they can't stop it. That's a surefire technique.
But, like, I mean, to certain degrees, right? Like, hypothetically, if you were to put me... No, it's not even saying me. If you were to put any character in Blue Lock up against Loki in a 1v1, right? They know his thing is speed. They know he's a Speedy Gonzalez type. Is that going to save them? Is that going to stop them somehow? No, obviously not. So I get that, but Baro, I don't think your stats are like... I don't think they're that crazy, bro. I don't think you're really like that for real, at least not to that level. Alright, restart. Here comes a muscle brain play.
Roger. Just try and stop me.
Chop dribble? Thunder chop? Man, it's... Baro, like, once again, I can tell the slight differences between the two art styles, but I wish I knew the manga. I'm gonna, for episode 21, I'm gonna get the other artist's name memorized. But man, I just love this. They take Baro's typically stiffer motions that come with his chop dribbling and make it really, really fluid. But let's see. Boom, thunder, chop, boom. And it's crazy how he dashes past Zantetsu.
An eye for an eye. And a muscle brain for a muscle brain.
Alright, so speed on speed.
Zantetsu, you predicted my chop and turned my charging power battle into a battle of speed,
And you are going to lose that, Baro. Unfortunately, you are not that guy, pal. Let's see.
and all he's doing is trying to get in my way?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, he doesn't really need to beat you. He just needs to slow you down, because I'll be beating you enough.
You're right, Nico. If I don't go in for a press, he's easy to stop.
Yeah.
Just because you're stupidly fast.
Which is, I'm very interested to see what roles Zantetsu plays in PXG. I'm very interested to see what a lot of characters are going to do in PXG. With Rin, Shido, Kaiser, Isagi, Kunigami, like, heck, Charles, another character that we need to go into. There are so many different things that we need to see in that match that I'm wondering how we're going to get through everything without it feeling like, not like contrived or anything, but I feel like we're missing out on character potential. Zantetsu's a big one, right? Because, like, he's part of, I believe he's part of the Shido system. I think it's him and Konasu. So I'm interested to see how his speed gets utilized there, especially considering a lot of characters have kind of been getting pace amps. Like Isagi's gotten faster. Not Hiyori. Corona's another speed demon introduced. Yukimai's another speed demon, not introduced, but like has also been getting amps. Like there's so many characters based around speed that I'm interested to see how Zantetsu's niche ends up evolving and being utilized in PXG, if at all. That's a big thing. It's going to be a big if at all, because like Uber's a game that I think just verbatim had a lot less to be established and worked on and extrapolated upon. Despite that game being so long, some characters did feel like they were left in the dust, left in the shadow. I'm looking at Yukimaya, heck, even to a certain degree, I'm looking at Corona, I'm looking at like a bunch of characters on BM. And that was for the main team we follow. Not to talk of a character on the opposing team like PXG and a character as relatively minor, unfortunately I hate to say it for all the Zantetsu fans out there, but a character as relatively minor as Zantetsu. I'm interested, let's see.
Yeah, because you're stupidly fast.
It's no use, Baro. Pass to me.
Shut up. Who's gonna?
You're not passing, huh? You're the dictator king type, so you act independently and won't go along with an idea you didn't think of yourself. So in a situation like this, when you need to look at your surroundings, your brain freezes up. Statistically speaking. I respect it. Once again, it's true. It's true. That's the thing. And notably, this is something that does kind of get worked on by the time of Neo Aegis League. So unlike a character like Nagi, where I can kind of see the same issues that Hironagi's bringing up being carried forward, and Chigiri's issues, I'd say Baro's issue here is more along the line of Chigiri's issue, which is acceleration speed and its ability to burst from point to point. That got fixed by Chris. Or not fixed perfectly, but like it got adjusted by Chris, so it's not as easy of a weakness to exploit. Where in comparison, Baro's also does get fixed. It's Nagi's who's kinda lacks even after Neo Aegis League, which is why I'm still interested to see where this character's gonna go.
Statistically speaking,
Nico with a trap?
This is like a piece of cake without Isagi or Ryokun around. They only have individual skills, so their plays are easy to dismantle.
Yeah, I mean, what I say at the start of the review. It's that idea that all three of these characters, while they do technically have that facilitator, Chigiri can definitely play the facilitator type. It's something that even gets brought up when he gets his Neo Evitus League amps. Like, hey, Chigiri, all you're experiencing from centering the ball for other people, it can lead to a really dangerous shot if we work on it the right way. It's still not in his nature to facilitate, though. It's still not in his nature to play that support role. He's still desperate to be a striker, and thusly that's going to get in his way here because he's not able to think in that way that a Nico or a Hirangi or a Reo or a Isangi could. And you can really see the weakness of this team when it's brought down to these factors, but somehow they're going to win, right? Like they have to pull this off because I don't think we see this trio make it all the way to the end. So I'm interested to see how they win. King type. Oh, okay, let's see. Then we just sneak through the gaps in their wobbly formation. You thought it'd be this easy? Wait, you thought this would be easy, Fortune Ponytail? Don't think you can win with just your head? I mean, he's not winning with just his head. Like, he's actually winning with, like, skills, too. But let's see. Just my head? You're wrong, Nagi-kun. I have my own weapon, too. Did he back heel trap that? That's crazy. Oh no, he bounced it off the back of his left foot to the front. A running trap? But the ball is up. There. Nagi, please don't get cooked. Please don't get cooked by trapping. Please don't tell me. Is this a prequel to Rin cooking Nagi with trapping? Meeting a natural, intuitive prodigy like you and crushing your logic feels... Oh. We have to fight. We have to fight. There's no way you are palming my head, bro. Even now he's like, what is happening? Feels oh so good. I'm a smart and nasty deputy director type. That is Nagi. I know there's no way you're letting this possibly full-grown man palm your head like that. Now, me personally, I'm not gonna say anything too great, but me personally, I would not let that slide. Nagi, some things in life are worth a red gun. No, I'm kidding. But jeez, dog. Bro got out-trapped. No, he got played by a trap and then scored on and then used as like a support post. Is that elite? Can you do that? Can you literally score while palming somebody else's head? That's wild. I'm a smart and nasty director deputy type. 0-2. Darn. Hiragi, such a rational play style. It's kind of like Isangi's. No, his weapon is trapping. So, he's just like me? For real? He's just like me? For real? Basically, his abilities are like a hybrid of me and Isagi. That's an interesting way to take it. That's true. What Reo or Isagi do at a time like this? They think real hard. And then they go, think, my butt. I'm sorry. Let's see. Okay, huddle up. We're gonna lose at this rate. I mean, yeah. Yeah, I want to win though. Thank you, Nagi, for your deep revelatory insight, bro. I also would like for you to win. Let's see. We were thinking too much about our strong points. Nothing's gonna change unless we change our way of thinking. True. Well, people don't really want to think about their weak points. Let's use our heads too, and try using a weak point framework. Huh? Borrow just like me for real. Huh? Huh? What's that? I think I've heard about it before, but for example, let's say you don't like spicy food, but there are lots of kinds of spicy food, right? Like curry or kimchi or wasabi or spicy pollo. I just got any Nagi flashbacks. But then you think about it, and you can do wasabi, and curry is fine, and you just don't like kimchi and spicy pollock roe. Then you realize it's not all spicy food. You just don't like chili peppers. Ah, okay. Your way of thinking lets you get to the essence. All right. So specification, essentially, rather than going by a general status of the weak point, you tackle the weak point by all different angles and then find the one that allows you to function within your weak points, but basically overrides the other existing parts of your weak points. Interesting. Oh, good point. People analyze things they like, but you don't bother about thinking too much about the things you don't like, because you don't like them.
Right. That's a weak point framework. Chigiri, where did you learn this? Weak point framework. If we think like that and determine the limits of our soccer weaknesses, I think we can overcome them. Do it yourself. Oh. Yeah, sounds like a pain.
Do y'all want to win? Do y'all want to win? Do y'all want to lose? Like, if y'all want to lose, that's okay. But golly,
I figured. Well, unless one of the three of us overcomes their weaknesses, we're not gonna have a breakthrough. Whew. If we can't do that, we'll stay weak. And then it'll all end right here.
Okay, nah. Even this mangaka. Well, actually, no. This is actually pretty solid under the chin angle. Let's see.
Zantetsu, coming in for the cook. First, Zantetsu will come to cut off my speed. Then Nico will be waiting behind him to ambush me, and reading my movements to crush me when I try to break past.
Man, Nico can look really, really ominous sometimes.
I won't be able to fight one-on-one at top speed like I want. Now, for me to think my weak point is when I can't reach my top speed, or when I'm in a 2-on-1 situation. No, not quite.
I mean, kind of, sort of, your acceleration, but let's see.
I need to increase the image resolution on my weak.
Ooh, interesting.
Deeper. Go deeper.
Oh, whoa, Chigiri, the allegations, Chigiri. We can't, Chigiri, the allegations, Chigiri. We can't be doing this. You can't just be saying deeper, Chigiri. You can't be doing this. Let's see.
Go deeper. My weak point, huh? I hate thinking like that. If my charge and dribble style doesn't work, I'd rather be dead.
Borrow. Think. Please.
The Naked Emperor's so obstinate.
I'm honestly shocked Kaiser hasn't been called that more. Let's see.
Time to push the pushy king.
Kicks it away.
Darn you. Your greatest weakness is your personality, Baroku. Well, even if you understand that, it's not something you'd be able to fix.
Yo. Nico just cooking, bro, live on air.
My personality.
I see. In that case,
I already... Sessuro Nagiku, your greatest weak point is that you're a prodigy, and therefore ignorant.
Yeah, lack of experience. That's a thing that, once again, it's so interesting looking backwards. That's a thing that lasts till Neo Egotus League. His general inexperience with soccer and unwillingness to learn or try to learn, yeah, it's haunted him till this day.
You're a prodigy, and therefore ignorant. You don't know enough about soccer. Another goal, so hold your own against me. I'll educate you, so lose. Already, and join us.
Ooh, he wants Nagi though.
Wait a minute. We're not giving you Nagi. Time to overcome our weaknesses.
Let's go, bro. All right. So this is okay. This is multi-branching. That's the end of the chapter. W stuff. Simple and sweet. It's worthy. All right. I do like it. I like how episode Nagi is taking the time to not just. It's doing multiple things. It isn't just a further expansion on Nagi's character, but it is. Jeez, why are you yelling so loud? Nothing is open on you. What is wrong with you? I do like how it's taking time to explore and introduce new characters and show different mindsets and fusions of abilities, hybrid forms that we haven't seen before. In the case of Hiragi, who's a fusion of Isagi and Nagi. So I feel like I'm losing the connection to the word or the suffix agi. But I do like how we're introducing and showing off Hiragi. I do like how we're showing and tackling these attributes of these characters and their weaknesses well before they get tackled and addressed again in Neo Egotus League. And I do like how we're genuinely exploring Shigiri and Paro as characters as well. We aren't just focusing on Nagi, which is very, very good. I'm very interested to see how this ends up going, and I'm excited for chapter 21. All right, very, very W chapter. If you got all the way to the end of this video, please leave the Demon King. It's literally just bar. Leave the Demon King in the comment section down below. I would like to thank you so much for watching. So leave a like, share, comment, and subscribe. And make sure you hit that little notification bell so you don't miss out on any videos that come to the channel. Also, I do happen to have a Patreon down below where you can support me for as low as $1 a month. Get things like exclusive videos, early content, and more. You also now become a member of the channel for as low as $3 a month to get the same perks and more. Some of those perks include ad-free variations of all my videos. Now, I'd like to thank you so much for watching once again, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day. This is Dago the Pencil, writing off. I'd like to give a thank you to our $3 members, Recliner Plays, Red Wolf 4765, Greyhound, and Atkins Void. I'd like to give another big thank you to our $5 patrons, Victor, Sean, RNG Master, Midnight Gemlord, Metal Solid Crisis, Kevin, Igneal, and Demix LND. Another scrumptious thank you to our $7 members, Autumn, Mornings, Lazo, and Sick Addiction. And I'd like to give another hefty thank you to our $10 patrons, Robbie Uchiha, Joaquin, Idemokami, and China Doll 09. And I'd like to give another gargantuan thank you to our $25 member, Alex Ice Rose. And I'd like to give a thank you, an amazing thank you to our $25 patron, Calvin Elder. And another thank you to our next $25 patron, eHack1. And a final thank you to our final $25 patron, Steeron.